Hello everyone, and welcome back to another stream by myself, Rigby. Um, it's the end of the week, it's the end of Sunday. We all know what that means. It's time for some F1 Tier 1 action. And because of that, I am with my faithful sidekick, TJ Stuart. How are you doing, Stuart, lad?
I'm not bad, and yourself?
I'm good. I've just commentated F2, so I needed a wee coffee to wake myself up, but we're ready to go here for qualifying.
Tell you what, I needed a coffee myself after my race in Tier 3. That was some mental wheel-to-wheel racing with Boggy and... I now can't remember. My memory's gone.
The memory's gone. The memory's gone. The voice is gone, and the brain goes with it. You'll love to see it.
So that's why we've got the coffee.
Fair enough. Well, let me just quickly get everything sorted. Good to see that I'm back in control of the stream after we had the roles reversed on Sunday for the no assist racing. We're back in good hands, ladies and gentlemen. I, unlike Shirt, will not disappear and leave the stream on the same screen. Most of the drivers are on the soft shirt, mediums for Harry Cully.
Yeah. In terms of strategies, obviously from racing today, the medium to the hard was my strategy today to get in the one stop in. I did the mediums till lap, I believe, 13 or 14, then switched to the hards from there. It's a good track. I did quite enjoy it. It's just that it was very difficult towards the end. Also, as you start to lose traction, there's a lot of very hard corners, or sort of say harsh corners on these tyres. Very easy and quick wear on the softs as well.
My race. Sorry, I don't know why that's a long pause there. my race was a disaster because my controller went off. But my plan was to do the two-stop, was the soft, medium, and medium again. I've seen people go on to do medium hard. I've seen people do soft hard. Yeah, there's so many different strategy calls you can make, and I'm not really sure which one is the quickest. As we start on board here with the Goat of Anxiety, setting his first fast lap. Very quickly, if we have a quick peek at the driver stats at the moment, Too Late Mates. A good couple of weeks has meant he is right in front of 128 points. Yari just in behind him with 99 points. And Carcraft in third with 88. Alfa Romeo, the constructors, they're 82 points clear of Ferrari at the top of that. And Ferrari are only 2 points ahead of Mercedes, who are in third. So it's all to play for still.
Definitely. Two new faces that I haven't seen race round here in Tier 1 is Gima Winnie and IP. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of performance they can be setting against these more favourite drivers of ours so far, of MBD Visions, Too Late Mate, Yari, even Sten as well, all setting some pretty interesting laps. And yeah, just giving us some really exciting races to watch.
Well, Gima Winnie was Gima Winnie's just raced in F2. He finished in P5, so had a decent result. He'll be able to get one here. As the Goat of Anxiety is going to come across the line, and it's a 130.085 that is the benchmark to everybody else.
Yeah, very nice lap from Goat of Anxiety there to set that benchmark, and it is a quick time as well, as Mavs can't quite catch him. 210 soft with that 130.2 as well, so very nice benchmark from Goat of Anxiety.
Joe Royal coming around the final corner. He's going to be the third person to set a lap time in the Racing Point. Joe Royal is going to do a 130.9. Bob Sadder. Oh, Bob Sadder's in the wall.
Yeah,
Bob Sadder, who literally, well, we can't say the word that I want to say, but made me and Stuart very, very excited, shall we say, into the wall. So let's hope he can get into the pits and go again once again. But we're on board with our resident weatherman, Scotty Fennell. He's comes round the second to last corner. Drivers finding it a lot easier with their assists on this time to complete that second to last corner. As Scotty comes round across the line, and Scotty is going to set a 131.3.
Yeah, nice sort of middle of the table right now whilst we're waiting on the other drivers setting times. Wow, Carcraft with the 129.5. Well done from Carcraft.
I mean, look, too late, mate, in Carcraft.
0-1.
That's mental. Max, of course, is back on the pad, isn't he? He's back on the pad, and he has returned with a 129.8, and he is showing that he has got his pace back, which is fantastic to see.
Very nice to see from Max getting that pace back on. Further down the grid, we got Faddy getting his lap in, right in behind his teammate of Goat of Anxiety, setting himself a 130.1. MBD Vision's a little slower right now with the 130.1 as well.
G McWhinney comes across the line, and it's a 130.5 up to P10. Not a bad first lap for him.
Yeah, all these times are just so close right now. And it's coming down to the likes of Carcraft and to the mates coming down to that thousandth of a second.
Well, it looks like Too Late Mate is going into the pits next. I don't know why, I thought he was actually setting a time then. I've gone cuckoo shirt, I've had a long afternoon, and I'm going absolute cuckoo.
I think we'll see most of these drivers go back to the pits. They've all set a lap. Goat of Anxiety's back in the pits, he's got himself some fresh softs on. G McWhinney's the only one to go a second lap so far. I'm assuming he'll be going into the pits, but he hasn't validated this time, so he will be going back to the pits to get some fresh softs. We've got Scotty Fennell still out. Looking, yeah, he's going pits as well. Bob Seda on a fast lap.
Yes, indeed, we're on board with him at the moment.
So 108 entering the DRS, and I've been noticing a sort of benchmark of where you want to be in each sector, and 108 is definitely somewhere you want to be going into that DRS zone. You want to be around that 1.6 to 1.8, and Bob Sada is on a very nice time, but will he opt to stay out? And he does. He's going to come over the line at IS. There he is, a 130.6, so that'll see him in 11th. So right in behind G McWhinney, so you can see our resident Tier 2 driver he's holding his own here.
Which is always good to see. Always like the Tier 2 drivers who do get an opportunity to race with the very best here at SRL. When they come in, it's great to see that they can mix in with the fast drivers that are in here. So that's fantastic to hear.
100%. Well, I'm on board Goat Anxiety right now. As there's no traffic, or little to no traffic on this track, he'll be wanting to take big advantage of that.
Well, there's a couple of cars coming out of the pits just now. We're on board with Harry Colley, who's setting a lap on the mediums, which is interesting.
Yeah, it certainly is. If he's going to be in that bottom tier, then again he's going to get to choose his tyre. But
he's had a nightmare there though. He had a nightmare there. Had to correct himself quite a few times, and yeah, I think that's that lap down the drain, I think.
I tell you what, this first corner is just so difficult to keep the power down and also not lose traction, and Goat of Anxiety just demonstrating there just how well he's mastered that. High gear, keeping himself up on the power. He's got a faster sector 1 so far. He just needs to keep this pace up, keep it to perfection. He's flat out through this corner in sector 2, right, rolls it back in right. MBD Vision's going to have to get out of his way here, and he does, so very nice of MBD Visions to let him pass. Goat of Anxiety really showing that he can keep this traction again. Purple's the sector 2, so he's on pace.
Beautiful run through there as he comes on to this very long straight, which is going to be a definite place for overtakes in the race.
And as I said, coming around that sector 3, and he hit the DRS zone at 1.7, so again, I'm noticing the pattern. That's kind of where you want to be, hitting the DRS.
We'll go with Anxiety. He's 5 tenths off Carcraft in his first attempt. This one's going to be better, but how much closer is he going to be to Carcraft as he comes across the line to 129.6?
Not quite enough. So you can see he got the Sector 1 and 2 time, but just, I'm not sure where he lost it in Sector 3, and again, it could be that fabled final corner. Or second to last, should I say, on that hairpin.
Yeah. Well, we're on board now with Max Young, who's certainly finding things a lot better on the pads. Currently
Definitely.
in P4 at the moment, 129.8 is his quickest. He's only 3/10 off Carcraft's provisional pole time at the moment. Or I should say Carcraft and Too Late Mates, because that is just unbelievably close.
Such a close time between those two. And I tell you what, Max is up on his time currently by around a tenth, so he may just better his time. Depending, again, it's going to come down to the second to last corner if he can maintain the pace.
Well, it's important Max gets a good result today, because obviously Yari is not here this weekend. He would normally be the one to pick up the points this season. Max needs to do his part today. As he comes around the final corner, he keeps the car on the track, and this is going to be a 129.6. He's in P3, or it stays in P3, does he?
And it was such a nice second to last corner there, and he managed to keep the power down in third gear, rolled it right round, managed to get the power up, and there you go, 129.6.
Well, we're on board with
third.
Well, we're on board with our provisional pole sitter, Carcraft. Too Late Mate, not too far behind him. Also setting a fast lap.
Yeah. I tell you what, Too Late Mate right behind them, also purple in that sector too. So both drivers up on their times so far. But who will come out on top?
Oh, he keeps it nice. Doesn't get too much onto the curb there. Rides it very nicely as he comes around the final corner. Carcraft here. Keep the car on track. He does beautifully, I've got to say. And it is going to be quicker. It's a 129.3. Too Late Mate. What have you got in the back in your tank, lads?
This is really nice. Rolled it round that final corner beautifully. And
He's got it.
enough. It's a 129.2. There you go. Our new pole sitter, and just showing the gap again. That Too Late Mate has just got that edge again, week after week.
This is not over. That's not over that battle at all. Carcraft will come back at him for sure with that. As we're aboard with Witcher in the Ferrari, who's braking very, very early there, I've got to say. So maybe he's given up on the time. I think he has. So we'll move on.
Yeah, getting ready for his fast lap. He's just keeping those tyres at minimum wear. Potentially going back into the pits. I've just noticed his fuel level is a little low, so he's potentially going back in. Obviously isn't happy with the lap that he's currently been setting. Harry Cully now still to set a time in Sector 2 right now, and again looking to be on quite a fast lap right now. Again, Harry Cully is going to be wanting to be getting to the middle of the table as far up as he can, just to get himself in amongst the rest, and again, setting himself a really quick time right now. Obviously showing that he's practiced.
He has indeed. We've just got over 5 minutes left of qualifying to go. Time for just one more set of fresh tyres to just try and improve your time. It's been a fascinating battle. Too Late Mate, no surprise he's near the top. But it's good to see that he's being pushed all the way, and it's so close between him and Carcraft. And Max and Govenzite are in that battle as well.
Let's jump on board Harry Cully. He's coming across the line with 27. I thought it was going to be quicker. It was looking to be quicker. I'm not sure where he lost a bit of time. Maybe some premature braking in that final corner, but still. Into 7th is a really good position from Harry Cully, right in behind Widja with only 200ths of a second, so very nice time.
We're going to stay on board with the Goat of Anxiety as he is just 2 turns away from starting his final fast lap. Currently in P4, the Red Bull driver. Hoping he doesn't get mixed up too much in the traffic that's about to occur as people come out the pits for their final runs. But let's see what we go with Anxiety. Can he keep the power down? Can he not lose it? Not go too far wide here, and not lose too much time. He just go a little bit wide, but he's kept it quite close to the curb very nicely. couple of cars up the road from him, but he doesn't have to worry about that just now. Go with anxiety. Now he brakes, keeps a little bit further away from the curb than he maybe wants to, but still very nice.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that corner there, but he's still pushing for it.
He won't be happy with it, but I don't think he's lost a load of time of that. As he rides the curb nicely. Gets onto the straight. Now this is a vital part of the track. This is a place you can lose time, or even get yourself onto that outside curb and get yourself onto the gravel and end your fast lap attempt entirely.
Yeah, Go with Anxiety definitely won't be happy this time. He's currently a 10th down going into the sector 3 mark.
We're going to stay aboard with him until he crosses the line. See if he can improve just a little bit. If he improves only just a little bit and Max doesn't get a good lap in his final one, he could get himself into P3.
100%.
Oh, he's ruined it. He's decided to jump in the pits and try and maybe get one more fresh set of tyres on. Oh, that's going to be close.
It's going to be very close. I don't think he's going to make it out in time. Perhaps he might, but I'm not 100% on that one.
Well, we're going to stay on board with Mavs UK here in the AlphaTauri. Just in that top 10 position at the moment, the AlphaTauri driver.
Yeah, been watching him carefully since the start of this lap, and again, he's kind of on level with his time so far.
He's caught the curb a little bit there, and that's going to cost him time. That'll definitely have slowed him down.
He has slowed down a good bit. I don't know if he's maybe just going to hold himself off and maintain that tyre wear, get himself in another lap. IP now on the medium tyres as well, so that's looking to be the strategy for IP and Sten, looking to start this race on the medium tyre.
Well, if they don't think they've got the pace to get into this top 10, then it's not a bad idea, I suppose. As we're on board with Carcraft, currently in P2, a 10th and a half. Down on our original pole sitter, too late, mate. But he's looking good on this lap.
I'll tell you what, this is fast, and he is up on his time.
He's got Harry Colley, who needs to get out of his way here, Harry. He needs to get out of his way, lads.
I tell you what, he's going to use his drag on Harry Colley there just to get himself some speed up. And hard braking into this corner and gets the apex. Short shifting, get him to not lose any traction again. Braking at the 50, rolling it in. Short shifting again, back up into speed. And it's going to be a 129.251.
So not enough to be too late, mate, who is on his own fast lap at the moment, and he's just done a purple sector 1, although it's 8 thousandths of a tenth. He's only just slightly improving.
Hey, an improvement's an improvement. And Max, I'm on board him as he's going down sector 3, already a 10th and a half up on his time.
We'll join you, we'll jump on board with Max as well as he comes round the second to last corner.
And that was a really nice corner from Max, nice and smooth, short shifting again, maintaining traction. He goes a little bit wide in that corner, it's not going to be enough. So 129.633 is still his better time, so he's 2 tenths down on that, and that is Max's qualifying done, and we'll see him in third so far, unless MBD Visions has got something to say about that. As he's coming down sector 3, hits the DRS at around that 1.7 mark, so again, up on the time.
His teammate, too late, mate, is coming round the final corner now, Stuart. Can he improve on his 129.2? I think he might. Oh, no, not quite. It's so close, that. Still, what an effort that is.
And MBD Visions, he invalidates his time at the end, and it would have been enough to see him into third. Just right on that last corner, just a track extension at the end. Very unfortunate for MBD Visions, but don't take your eyes off him yet. He will be definitely one to watch.
Well, for Vision, if you look at his last couple of weeks, it's a disappointing qualifying, but P6 is not bad. Obviously, you can still gain a lot of positions from there, so not too bad from him at all.
A safety car, a virtual safety car, all these things can be factors to help your race, and I think we may see one or two this race again, because this track is just so unforgiving. You clip a corner, you clip a curb, right, just in the wrong way, and it can ruin your race so easily.
It can indeed. So just waiting for a few more cars to come round. It's too late, mate. AI smashes into the back of our trucker. But another qualifying down and another pole position for Too Late, mate. Fantastic. Carcraft joins him on the front row. Fantastic qualifying from Carcraft. Faddy, who seems to have snuck up on me a little bit, gets himself into P3, done a 129.6. He'll be joined on the second row with Max. On the third row, have the Goat of Anxiety and Vision. Two very fast drivers there. On the fourth row, have Witcher and Harry Colley. And on the fifth row, have G. Mawini and Joe Royal. Just outside the top 10, we've got Bob Sadder and El Shocker. Scotty Felmar GK on the seventh row. And IP and Sten are at the back of the grid. With everyone finishing their times on soft tyres, so the couple of drivers who did jump on the mediums obviously couldn't go quick enough and decided to jump onto softs in the end straight.
Yeah, I did notice that, and I tell you what, I've just been looking back at some of the results. Too Late, mate, people looking for his fourth win in a row this week, and again already showing his pace. So we'll be relying on no mistakes, because obviously Carcraft again showing his pace right in behind. We'll also be looking for Too Late, mate, to make that mistake.
So sure, we've mentioned it already, but what is the strategy for today?
Strategy for the top 10 will obviously be starting on the softs. I would see them going for the one stop. They'll be trying to get to maybe lap 8 or 9 before going for the pit stop. Potentially they might even pit a little lap or two earlier, maybe around 6 or 7, getting themselves onto the hards, and I think that would be us for the race. Obviously, a safety car can change that later on. They might get a second stop in, and again, just to keep their pace up. For the bottom 6, again, if I was them, I would be starting on the soft. Again, just to try to maximise potential. I'm noticing 3 of them starting on the hards, which that is a bold move to be starting on the hards.
I've seen a few people in F2 do the same, and it worked out wonders. So, you know, don't count that strategy out too much. I have seen it work today.
And again,
like there's especially if there's a safety car.
Yeah, 100%. If there's a safety car for these guys and they've managed to maximise the amount of laps, because again, these guys will be able to go around the 20 laps on these hards and then switch to the softs.
Scotty says, hard at the start, very interesting. While we've got you here, Weatherman, any chance of some rain at all? Or it looks pretty dry out there, so maybe it's wishful thinking that we'll have a little bit of wet weather action. It just makes it so much more interesting, and so many more incidents happen and stuff. And for a neutral, obviously it's fantastic. For drivers, they probably would prefer a clean race.
100%. You want
not a clean race, a dry race, not a clean race. Sorry.
If you've got this track when it's wet, then that is a serious disadvantage. That you're not going to enjoy this race when it's wet. But yeah, you're right. Faddy just managed to sneak up on us and get himself ahead of Max and go to Anxiety into third. So very well done to him, getting that final lap in and getting himself to there.
Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win this race. Stuart, I'm putting you on the spot. Who are you feeling today? Or we're not feeling. Who are you thinking is going to win today?
Again, I called MBD Visions last week, and unfortunately for him, after just a minor incident in the final 5 to 6 laps, and it saw the end of his race and the top sitter. So you never know. I'm still between the alpha of MBD Visions or Too Late Mate here, but Carcraft, it could be for him, or even. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with Too Late Mate, but Max on the pad may just come out of nowhere.
Hello, Jord lad. Welcome to the stream, pal. Who do you think is going to win the race? Have a look at the standings and pick a driver out who you think is going to win the race. As we have all lined up after the formation lap, and looks like we're ready to go. As we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for round 9 here at China in SRL F1. Looks like Max has been overtaken a little bit, but he's got the inside line, so I think he's going to hold on to his third position.
Tell you what.
Oh, the racing point spinning. It's Joe Royal. Joe Royal went spinning there. Did he? Oh, is that a little bit of lag? I'm not sure, but he must have corrected it very nicely, because I thought he was going right into the barrier then. As I watch Witchy looking at the goat of anxiety early on here.
Yeah, and we've got MBD Visions also trying to get into goat of anxiety as well. And Max managing to get himself a massive lead there on Carcraft and Faddy, getting himself into second. And again, obviously showing that he's got the pace on the controller rather than the steering wheel, but he's a couple of errors there, and Carcraft's looking at the inside, braking at the 50, and there's a little bit of contact, but Max holds it, and again, wheel-to-wheel racing here from Carcraft and Max, and Carcraft takes the outside line, Max keeping the grip.
Sure, Faddy's having a look at Carcraft here.
I tell you what, Faddy's opened all the taps, he's looking at it, so has Max and Carcraft, so
could go 3 wide here. They could go 3 wide here in the second to last corner, in the first time out. Max is going to hold on to the
position. Max spins off and loses the traction.
What a disaster for Max. But we're still on board with Faddy, who's still looking to get past Carcraft here. Maybe just try shake him on the inside on turn 1. I don't think he's going to be able to, as the standings are all messed up at the moment. But Max all the way to the back of the grid. What happened there?
Yeah, not the best of final corners from Max there, but again, it's sitting in the middle of the pack right now, right in behind Goat of Anxiety and Faddy, so he didn't lose too much on it. Managed to get himself still into the 6th position, and he's not out of the contention yet. He's managed to still pick up the pace and still looking at Goat of Anxiety to try and get a move done between the teammate of Goat of Anxiety and Faddy. He's just trying to get used to the sticks again. I think that's where Max is just trying to get a feel back.
Well, I'll tell you what, has had a good start. Vision, he's now up into P3. He's getting 3 positions off the start. You said don't count him out, and he's proved you right so far. Faddy still jumped down back 1 position, but still solid start from him into P4. Too Late Mate managed to put a 1.6 second gap between him and Carcraft.
Sorry to interrupt, but Bob Sad is now looking at the inside of Joe Royal and is looking to get this move done in the second to last corner, sends it down the inside, and Joe Royal going round the back of Bob Sada's car, who is on the hards, and Bob Sada managing to get an overtake on the softs there. Very well done from him to get that move done.
Well, the softs, the softs really do. I mean, the tyre wear out there is horrendous, and the softs are not its friend.
Really not its friend there.
You show your phone. So we'll have no TLJ show for just a quick moment. So we'll stay on the battle with Mavs UK and L Trucker at the moment, the battle for P8, as Scotty Fennell appears to have lagged out of the race. Hopefully he can get himself back in very soon. But yeah, Vision now, he's closed the gap to Carcraft a little bit now. He's within DRS, he's only 7/10 off him, and that gap's coming down. So Vision looking very racy from the start. Well, he gets himself onto the curb just a little bit there, but he still should get a decent run at Carcraft, and he'll have DRS now, I think, which will help him out even more. But I don't think he's going to catch the Williams fast enough to really make a move happen, and he'll have to stay in behind for now. Meanwhile, Govanziety maybe looking into the inside of his teammate. Not quite able to make that move stick. He'll have an opportunity maybe again here to get past Faddy, potentially. Is he going to go for a move on the inside of his teammate? He's going to. He's going to try and hold it. Faddy on the outside of him. Red Bull's wheel to wheel and turn one. And it looks like Faddy had the inside line. He's just able to hold on to the position without the Govanziety. Comes back out again. And there's a contact and Faddy. Govanziety, sorry. Losing a bit of time there. And now Max is having a look at the Red Bull driver. So on Valentine's weekend there was no love between the two Red Bulls there. As we stay on board with Max Chong at the moment. As Scottenfeld is able to get himself back in the race, that's fantastic to hear. But Max Chong here, he's gonna get DRS in this next straight, and the Govanziety of course will get DRS on his teammate, so we could essentially have 3 wide again here at the end of this long straight that's just coming up now. We'll jump on board the Govanziety, I think, for this battle. Who you can see is not using his DRS to get past his teammate. He's just going to stay in behind, and Max Chong not able to get a move done, not able to catch up in time. But so much battle indeed from the start. As the Govanziety decided to pit and try and undercut on their rivals. As Magic gets himself a 3-second time penalty. You're going to see a lot of soft runners now jumping into the pits to get off the soft as quick as possible. Vision has managed to come out in P12, so he's I guess ahead of all the other drivers that have pitted as well. But we're going to stay on board with Max at the moment. As he hunts down Faddy. Faddy might come in at the end of this lap, of course. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops. Max Chong here, he'll get DRS now. He's only got a little, you can see on his steering wheel, he's only got a little bit of DRS, and he is going to use it to try and get past the Red Bull here. Where's he going to go? Inside, outside. He's going to go for a move into the second to last corner. He's getting a little bit of a squeeze from Faddy as Max Chong gets to the corner first. Where's Faddy? They're side by side here. Max Chong is going to have the inside line now. And Max going straight into the pits. And good thing Faddy knew that, because if he'd come across, that could have been very nasty indeed. But luckily for Max, he's able to get into the pit safely, and Faddy is now stays in P2. As more drivers opt into pit, Too Late Mate as well, race leader, decided to pit as well. Carcraft opting to stay out, so maybe try the overcut potentially. But so much action from the start, some very, very good overtakes, I've got to say. As Bob Sadder here might be looking to take advantage of Mawini, who's still on soft tyres. Bob Sadder, of course, on the hard compound here. His stint is nowhere near finished yet. He'll be on those hards for quite a while yet. And those hards will just, as each lap passes by, those hard tyres are going to start to feel a lot nicer to be on. And you can see he is gaining on Mawini. What has the Bobby Dazzler got in him here? He's going to use his ERS. He'll get DRS as well. And G Mawini might be a bit vulnerable here. Where's he gonna go? Where's Bob Sider gonna go? Is he gonna dive bomb into the second last corner? He is gonna go towards the inside. They're both side by side. Bob Sider has to leave the space on the outside for his opposition, but Bob Sider is through and he is into P5, and Jim Winnie is going to pits. Meanwhile, Gut of Anxiety looking at the back of our resident weatherman, Scotty Fennell. And on fresh medium tyres is going to get the move done as Richie does the fastest lap of the race for 1:33.9. And looks like the Gut of Anxiety is through and he is up into P8 now. As we jump on board with the battle between Sten and Bob Sider, both starting still on their starting hard tyres. I'll tell you what, we're going to jump off this battle for just 2 seconds because his teammate Witcher is a little bit closer to Scotty Fennell here. Only 3/10 off the McLaren, and he might be. Ooh, I don't think able to make a move happen here. But if he could set himself up gloriously for the DRS zone coming up. And Witcher here, he's not got too much ERS left to fight with, to be fair. And Witcher's going to have to go to the outside of Scotty Fennell. Is he going to try and outbrake the McLaren? And I tell you something, Carcraft has snuck up on both of them. And Carcraft takes 2 positions. And now Max has got in between Witcher and Scotty Fennell. Unbelievable scenes. And now the Mercedes fancies a go with the McLaren. They're 3-4 wide at the moment. It's insane. He's going to go to the outside. He's got to hold it off. Can he? Is he able to, Max? He'll get the inside line here, Max. Oh, there's contact between him and Scotty Fennell. He goes spinning and loses a couple of positions. It's incredible in the middle of the field at the moment. So much battling, and Max just comes off worse off that contact with Scotty. And Max has got more recovering to do. As Witchy goes wide there, thought he's going to get himself onto the gravel there, and Witchy's looking very vulnerable here. And could be in real trouble as we come onto the DRS zone once again on lap 8. Max very close, and Witchy now is going to have to go full attack on Scotty Fennell. He's going to have to go attack. He has to attack to defend here pretty much. And here you go. Here goes Witcher, and he's past Scotty Fennell. And can Max now get past Scotty? He's going to have to go to the outside, get onto the curb a little bit. Witcher's through. Scotty Fennell's now side by side with Max. There we go, they're wheel to wheel. Max is going to get the inside line on the McLaren. And it looks like the move is done. And Max is through for P11. Fantastic driving from the both of them. Very hard battling. And Max is through, and he's just outside the points position now. But remember, there's a couple of the top 5 have yet to pit. As we ride on board with one of those that haven't pitted yet, and that is Sten, who's still looking to try and get past Bob Sider. Oh, and Bob Sider's gone wide, and he's really struggling there, and that has allowed Sten to get even closer as we head on to DRS territory once again in the stadium section. He's going to get the toe on the Renault as well, and has Bob Sider just given up the position here? What's going to happen? He's got the ERS. The ERS is open as well for Sten, and he's going to fly past the Renault, and he takes P3. And a bit further up the field, we have Mavs UK at the back of SRL Tier. Of course, Magic A has that 3-second time penalty, I believe. Is it a 3-second penalty? Yes, it is. To deal with. Meanwhile, on board with the Mercedes of IP. Another one of those who hasn't pitted yet, still on the hard tyres. Against he's got Too Late Mate ahead of him, who's on fresh medium tyres, and you would expect that gap just to widen as long as Too Late Mate doesn't make mistakes. We're going to jump on board with IP's teammate of Max Chong, who might look for a move on which he's in. Oh, Max has had another little moment. Goodness me, that could have been nasty. Just managed to correct it though. He's going to get after Witchy once again here, as we can welcome back our co-commentator TGL Stuart.
Yeah, I'm here.
Max Chong here is going to get the ERS. I just wonder how much ERS he's got left to battle with here. I think he's got about half of it. I wonder if he uses it all now, or does he try to save a bit of ERS for the rest of the race. We'll wait and see. Max Chong, no, he's going to go full attack. The ERS is open. He'll get the ERS, of course, as well. And Max Chong, is he going to go for a move on? He's not quite close enough to go for a move. And he had to sell. Although, having said that, he's got a decent traction. Which he's just got ahead of him. For a moment there, I thought Max Chong was maybe going to be able to do him on the outside, but not quite. But as I say that, Witcher goes off the track on the start-finish straight, and Max Chong says thank you very much, and that is P10 for the Mercedes.
Fantastic move there from Max. I just caught the last bit of that as I've been watching Magic and El Trocker been battling out, going down from the DRS zone in Sector 3. We've also got Bob Sada trying to get a move done on Sten as well. Both on the 10-lap holds, but just not able to complete that move. Meanwhile, Too Late Mate seizing the opportunity to get caught up to these top four on his fresher 4-lap hold mediums, and MBD Vision, his teammate, also just trying to get some time caught up. I said don't rule him out, and he's right in behind his teammate on the way to the top.
As Sten gets a little bit of it, gets a bit onto the curb there. They enter the long straight on this Sector 3. But I don't think Bob's got the best run either, to be fair.
No, he does just lose out on the DRS as well.
Meanwhile, very close up front, we have Magic K and El Trocker both opting to pit now. So Stem will take provisional lead of this race. Of course, has not pitted yet, along with Bob Sada. So some of the racing action keeps up like this. I'm gonna end up having no voice at the end of this race. You'll have to finish off the com for us.
Hey, that's fine by me.
Wow.
I've got my drink. I'm well hydrated and I'm ready.
Well, Scotty Fennell has not pitted yet. Just outside those points positions at the moment. Faddy, of course, on new-ish hard tyres. They still won't feel the best at the moment. They probably still need a couple of laps to really break them in. And you can see that because Scotty is still closing the gap ever so slightly.
Well, at the top of the track, Too Late Mate has made the catch up to Bob Sada and Sten coming down at the DRS zone on the fresher of the mediums. The ERS has opened up and he doesn't even need the DRS to get past Bob Sada. So it's all DRS from here to get caught up to Sten. And he's making good work of that. Meanwhile, MBD Vision still trying to get this gap closed down. Not using his ERS, just maintaining and saving it. Too Late Mate utilising that ERS to his advantage and now closing the gap to Sten.
I think the good thing for Too Late Mate is he's put a car in between him and his teammate.
100%.
as well.
It's just going to allow him to get the DRS.
Meanwhile, the Gove Anxiety is getting past IP here. He'll have to go to the outside of turn 1 here. They're going to go side by side. Ooh. Gave IP a certain. He showed his authority on the track. Then IP had to just get out of the way there. Gove Anxiety said, move.
I tell you what, that's just allowed Carcraft to get even more momentum, and he's now looking at the inside of IP, and here he goes, he's making his move and rolls it in nicely, just forcing IP to the outside to slow down and lose a bit of traction. So IP's going to be looking to get the pace back on him, so it doesn't allow Carcraft to get away, and IP just goes a little bit wide there in that sector 2, sweeping left-hander, so he is going to allow that gap to get wider. Carcraft closing in on Goat of Anxiety now.
Indeed, well, we're back on board with Too Late Mate, who only has Sten, who hasn't pitted yet, in his way, and he could be about to retake the lead of this race. No DRS needed, no ERS needed. He flies past with those mediums, and he rettakes lead of the race.
Yeah, nice and easy for Too Late Mate. Sten late on the brake in there, locking it up, trying to close the gap back down so that he gets also, the most of his DRS.
Sorry to interrupt you, sure, but the Mercedes does not overtake. Max is taking his teammate here, braking very hard there, but he's got the move done. He's passed his teammate and he's up into P7. IP, of course, has not pitted yet.
Yeah, so those hard tyres are going to be able to go at least another 6 laps. And he will be able to utilise that. By that point, Max will be potentially looking at another pit stop to get himself back onto the softs to finish his race off. And again, Too Late Mate will be looking to do that as well. Get himself onto the softs again. Everyone will be pitting around the same time. However, El Trocker and Mavs going for the one-stop strategy as far as I can tell, getting themselves on the one-lap hold hards. They're going to be looking to go the rest of this race and potentially get some undercuts down here because there's not that big a gap between them and the rest of this field.
But Mavs UK has got Scotty Fennell chasing him down, but Scotty has not pitted yet. That's the crucial thing. As the audio goes mental on Scotty's car.
Coming round to Sector 3, Carcraft trying to get under that second mark so that he gets that DRS, and he is closing down by at least a 10th every corner. But Goat of Anxiety, you can tell, he just got the speed in the corners. Carcraft on the hards, and now will have DRS. He's got 20% of ERS, so not a huge amount, whereas Goat of Anxiety well in above the 50% mark. So you should keep this position and still keep the gap pretty lengthy, as the gap doesn't even close. So
we're on board.
Carcraft just picking away.
Well, we're on board with El Trocker. As soon as the phone goes off again, so we're going to lose him again. Not quite close enough to make a move on Faddy. We're going to have to remind you of the no phone rule during these streams.
Oh, I know. Bad me. G Winnie now picking himself up a 3-second time penalty and joins Mavs UK amongst the penalties. We've also got Bob Sada and Scotty Fennell in the pits. Bob Sada opting for some medium tyres here, so he's potentially looking at the rest of the race on these mediums.
He should have gone for those.
Strategy.
Yeah, he could go to the end on those mediums. He'd be fine as long as it doesn't have anything happen to him.
For the hard, so again, maybe looking to maximise grip potential and get himself caught back up to Bob Sada towards the end of this race. But again, the medium tyres should be enough. Meanwhile, up the track, we've got El Trocker now trying to get something done with Faddy as we are approaching the DRS zone in Sector 3. So Faddy locking up, going into the beginning of this long sweeping right-hander round to the DRS zone. Will El Trocker get something done here? He's got the ERS, he's got the DRS, and Faddy knows this, and he's well up into the ERS. El Trocker taps open, looking to get this gap closed down. He won't get a move done on this straight, but he potentially might get something done on the start-finish straight. As long as he can keep the traction, Faddy just forcing him also almost to a halt. Coming round the final corner, can he keep it clean round here? And he does as Faddy goes wide, DRS open. opting not to use the ERS here, that could be a smart move. Maintain the ERS to try and save as much as he can for coming round to Sector 3 again. Meanwhile, in the pits, we've got Sten coming back out on the softs, and Harry Cully almost right into the side of him. So Sten rejoins us with the faster compound against Harry Cully, Jima Winnie, Bob Sada also under the pressure of these tyres and looking to get right in behind Sten and join him on the race back to the top.
Well, we're on board with Carcraft. The gut of anxiety gets onto the grass a little bit there. That will compromise him a little bit, and Carcraft has gained a bit more time on the Red Bull driver. As the gut of anxiety goes quite defensive into that corner potentially. And Carcraft, he's got a nice run on the Red Bull here. And with his he has got the RS opened up. And we're going to see another move happen on this long chase in Sector 3.
I tell you what, Go of Anxiety is using everything that he has from ERS to maximum fuel, and he just can't quite get it as they go side by side into this corner. Carcraft locking up Go of Anxiety, and he does get the move done, Carcraft, but Go of Anxiety will have DRS, and again, on that faster compound, but with more wear.
Pits.
There goes. So, is this the right move for Go of Anxiety? I think he started on the soft, so potentially looking at another medium tyre, and also gives himself a 5-second penalty for speed in this pit lane. As Bob Sada now trying to close this gap down to Sten. We've also got Max in the pits, and we'll be looking at the medium tyre again, as does Go of Anxiety. MBD Vision's now out of the pits on the fresher mediums, so Petule may going the extra distance, maybe looking at the softs as he gets a 10-second penalty, 10-second gap on Carcraft, and is widening this gap. However, once the pit opportunity comes and that pit window approaches, Carcraft potentially looking at an undercut on Too Late Mate. So all still to play for.
They are indeed, but Too Late Mate will probably be jumping onto another set of mediums. It's quicker than the hards. It's interesting. And also we don't know if a safety car will come out.
Yeah, we don't know. El Trocker now on Faddy. He's got the ERS, so does Faddy though, so potentially not moving this gap again. He's going to get the DRS again, and has been closing this gap, but I don't think it's enough.
No, I don't think so either. As Vision got past Jima Winnie just a little while ago, Jima Winnie has got DRS back on the Alpha driver, but on those older hards, you'll find it quite difficult to keep up with Vision, I think, who has now got his sights set forward on Harry Colley, who's on 14-lap old hard tyres, and Vision is going to fly past the McLaren, and he is up into P8.
And Too Late Mate now has his fresh mediums on, and Carcraft and Faddy now have the undercut, so they are 10 laps old hard tyres with 10 laps to go. Too Late Mate has a long way to go. He's got about 13 seconds of time to make up here, and I don't doubt that he'll be able to do it. It's just whether he can get the move done on Carcraft, who's out on his own at the front.
I think it's a gap that can definitely be done. I don't think it's as obviously Carcraft's tyres are going to be getting worse and worse, of course. So while his tyres are getting worse, Too Late Mate's getting quicker and quicker. But he'll have to get a move on, and he'll have to get these moves done on Magic El Chocker and Faddy done quickly. 100%. And speaking of Faddy, he's gone horrendously wide on the long straight Sector 3, and El Chocker is now in pole position to get past him here. Inside, outside, where's he going? He's going out. Ooh, I thought he was going to go for it. He's opted not to do it.
I think
and Faddy's a lucky boy.
I tell you what, El Trocker's probably considering his tyre wear at this point. He knows he's got the fresher, and perhaps just going to be waiting it out here. Meanwhile, Too Late Mate does get the move done on Mavs pretty easily back there And MBD Vision's also closing in with the fastest lap on the mediums with a 1:32.6, so it is our fast lap holder.
But he does have Bob Sadder though closing him down fast as well.
Yeah, Bob Sadder's been right on the back of Sten quite a lot of this race. And Sten now looking at Mavs UK, who again, Sten on the 2-lap old mediums. Still in contention, and he is managing to keep up with Mavs and Too Late Mate quite well here, now into Sector 2. You can just see that he's got the pace, closing in on Mavs again. Sector 3 for the DRS zone should see a move done here pretty easily for these guys. Mavs struggling just to keep the power down in Sector 2 here as he goes a little bit wide. Now coming up to this looking bend.
He's had to look Sten and he's just realised. Yeah, now he's just realised, no, let's get it done here.
Yeah, he's only losing time here on Too Late Mate, and he knows he has to get this move done as sooner rather than later. Because I tell you what, MBD Visions has closed this gap down now and now has DRS on Mavs UK and Sten. Now Sten gets that move done comfortably, but MBD Visions now, because he's been stuck behind Mavs for so long, that MBD Visions is looking to get something done here. Max also getting ahead of G Mawini and now closing in on Harry Cully.
Yeah, decent for Max again, of course. It's just pitted, so no more pit stops for Max. Hopefully it's a case of get as many positions as possible. The field is very, very close at the moment, Stuart. As Govin's actually got past G Mawini by looks of things.
Yeah, the field is very close just now, except for Carcraft out on his own, 8 seconds ahead of Faddy, just cruising.
Mavs UK hard tires are not ready yet. They're different to medium and soft. They need a longer to really start to feel the benefits of them. And because of that, Vision is getting closer and closer. And I would suspect Vision is not going to wait around to make a move happen here on the AlphaTauri, with Sten very close as well, just slightly up the road. And is Vision?
He's not looking at it yet. He's
was.
Priming it.
He was the Mavs UK. He closed the door, and that's really ruined him. And Vision will go past Mavs UK after defending quite heavily into that corner, which he had to do. He just completely made it impossible for himself to keep the speed up in that corner.
I tell you what, MBD Visions did so well on that overtake.
Max is going past Harry Cully here as well. He's up to 2P9.
And here comes Go of Anxiety as well, coming down. He's looking at the inside of Harry Cully.
Oh no! Oh dearie, there you go. Oh no, you've got to be careful because G Mawini's coming, and he goes Go of Anxiety.
Just sent it way too fast into that corner and he just lost it all, and Bob Sad is now getting past Mavs UK in that first corner as they go wheel to wheel into the second part of the first corner. And he spins Bob Sada, but Bob is okay, he's still going, and is he going to keep ahead of Mavs? He does.
I think Mavs was given that position. I think Mavs was given that position back, you know. As Too Late Mate's past El Trocker.
Good respect for one another in the racing, as Bob Sada has obviously lost a bit of time now on MBD Visions after that incident, but again should maybe be able to make up some time as long as he can have the perfect race.
Sure, that gap between Too Late and Carcraft was what, 14 seconds 2 laps ago. It's
we're now down to 9.
And he's going to get past Faddy on this straight. He will use his the little bit of ERS he's got left, DRS as well, and he's through. And now it's just a case of setting those fast times, using those mediums, and catch up to Carcraft.
I tell you what, El Trocker's now looking at getting some catching up done. So is Sten. Also, all 3 drivers had the DRS. Obviously, El Trocker and Sten going to have DRS. In fact, Sten doesn't get the DRS. Obviously, just missed the trigger on that one.
Max is all over the back of Mavs UK shirt on the start finish straight, and he's gonna go. Well,
not looking at it. He knows the danger of this first corner, but he is still looking at the inside, and he's still got the pace and the traction to get past Bob Sada. As they go side by side into the second corner, and Mav's still defending that position, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. It might just be. Yeah, side by side still.
Oh god.
Obviously Max is going to have the inside line here.
He's
going to have the upper advantage.
Good driving from both.
And Mav's not quite able to hold on. Now the catch up to Bob Sada to get 6th position for Max, where meanwhile up the field we've got the gap closed in between this battle for 3rd, between Faddy, El Trocker and Sten.
Crucial part is Sten has a penalty and the others do not.
Yeah, so Sten has a lot of work to do.
But he is on fresh and medium tyres.
This is true. So we'll have the DRS here. He's got 30% ERS, which could be enough just to get a gap close going round into the start-finish straight. And Too Late Mate now has gained another 2 seconds a lap on Carcraft. So the hard's now taking the toll. The medium's nice and warmed up for Too Late Mate. And
Sten's going to have a look at El Trocker here. Potentially, you'll get the DRS. But
El Trocker also had the DRS on Faddy. And
that's why he can't get past. What, maybe can he hold it on?
El Trocker's looking at this.
No, not quite.
He had a little peek. He wanted it, but he knew he wasn't close enough.
Might be able to get him here though. Might be able to send it into this corner coming up if he wants to. Sten, let's have a look and see. No, he will stay in behind El Trocker for now. Meanwhile, Bob Sada looking to get past Max, or is it vice versa? Either way, Max is in P7, Bob Sada is in P8. So much action on track, it's absolutely unbelievable. We love to see this. As we're on lap 23, about 5 laps to go now. Sten had to correct himself just a little bit there, but he's only 3/10 off the Renault now. But El Trocker is still very close to Faddy, so let's see who gets past who first.
There's going to be a lovely 3-way battle down here as El Trocker, Sten and the NBD Visions all going to have DRS. El Trocker not quite got the ERS advantage that Faddy does, and Sten not quite close enough to get that inside line, but is going to have the traction now to get the speed down, and so is NBD Visions.
He needs past El Trocker here, Visions right behind him. And he is going to get the move done. Yep. Could he get Faddy as well here, Sten, you know? Could he get Faddy? Or is he a bit too far back? He's a bit too far back.
Too far back on this one, but Faddy taking it wide here. So Sten potentially looking at the inside line. Not quite as Faddy closes that door. Well defended from Faddy for that podium position. With 4 laps to go. Too Late Mate again. I'm still keeping an eye on this split here. He's now 5.5 seconds on Carcraft. He's calling this one close. He has to get the foot down.
Could be a case of he'll have one chance on the final lap to get that move done. Of course, no penalties, so he does have to pass him on track.
We may be complimenting Carcraft here on his strategy, and again, being able to get that soft to hard undercut.
All we can do is wait and see, but I think Sten is going to get past Faddy in a few moments because the gap is close, and Faddy on those hard tyres for 16 laps now. Sten on his mediums for 7. He has got that penalty, and he'll one past, and the RS is open. He'll get the RS again as well, and this time Sten is going to go past.
And Vision's also going to get the move done on El Trocker right behind these two. And they go wheel to wheel into the second to last corner, and NBD Vision just forcing El Trocker to go wide.
He had the grip, he had the traction, he had the grip, he had too much there. El Trocker couldn't defend. I don't think Vision did anything wrong there, as El Trocker runs a little bit wide, coming back onto the start finish straight. Meanwhile, Mavs UK gets DRS on the Goat of Anxiety. But again, a bit too far back, and he'll have to stay in behind for now. That gap to Too Late Mate and Carcraft is now 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, Too Late Mate is closing this gap, but I'm not seeing this being enough here. Carcraft still has the pace. to keep this time in that 4 seconds, and it is only a second a lap now.
But like you say, we'll have to get...
Mate squirming a little bit in that corner and loses a few tenths. A bit of lack of concentration there from Too Late Mate, just sees him losing traction. And now has to fight to get that back.
Well, meanwhile, the battle for P4, Vision on the back of Faddy. He'll use the rest of his DRS. A little bit of DRS is going to open up as well. Inside, outside, where you going, Vision?
Goes for the inside line and will get the move done. Goes for the inside line.
Oh, maybe. Oh, the Red Bull's going to try and get done. Yeah. The side by side. The side by side indeed.
Visions does secure the position for now, but Faddy's still going to be right on his tail as he gets the DRS open. Now looking to get the comeback done. As the battle for fourth, Faddy will reclaim it going down the outside. And now MBD Vision looking at the inside line on the first corner. As they go side by side into turn 2, Faddy now taking the inside line and does have the pace to keep ahead.
Fascinating switcheroos there between the two. As the interval times decides to disappear right now. Fantastic game.
So now we don't know the time intervals between Carcraft and Too Late Mate.
Mate, it's so... the gap has come down so quickly and the game can't keep up. But Vision here... he hasn't got a lot of VRS because he used it all up in the last attempt to get past Faddy.
I tell you what, Carcraft doesn't have a lot either. He's been utilising as much as he can to try and keep ahead, but Too Late Mate, he's cut Carcraft in his sights now as they come down into the second to last corner.
Vision's limping towards Faddy. He'll go to the inside. They're going to go side by side. And this time Vision puts his car in a place where Faddy's not going to get him back. And he is through this time. It is P4 for MBD Vision. And it is a 2.7 second gap between Too Late Mate and Carcraft. He needs to get his foot down because there's only 2 laps left.
Faddy is now coming back on MBD Visions again for this 4th position, allowing Sten just to get that gap ever so increased.
Faddy's got to be careful here fighting too much because he's allowing El Trocker to creep back up on him.
That's going to be interesting. Too Late Mate with 2 laps to go.
He needs to get that.
1 lap to go, should I say?
He doesn't have to get that gap down to under a second by the time they start the final lap, but particularly when they reach sector 2 at that final lap, he has got to be in DRS, and he's going to have a lot of DRS to fight with.
I tell you what, some racing from Too Late Mate to get this gap closed all the way down from 14 seconds.
Yeah.
So, onto the sector 3 straight. And you can see that interval creeping down under 1.7 seconds now. Meanwhile,
El Trocker is gaining on Faddy. He's gaining. The ERS is open. He's got DRS as well. Where's he going? He's going to the outside of the Red Bull. They're side by side going into the second to last corner. A little bit of a squeeze from the Red Bull on El Trocker. Faddy will hold on to the position for now. Can El Trocker get him back though on the start-finish straight? We will wait and see. That gap is not closed enough though between Too Late Mate and Carcraft.
1.5 seconds in it. This is where the mediums will come into the row in this sector 2, as a lot of corners here where Carcraft will lose time, and I think that is where Too Late Mate is going to get this under a second. But is it going to be enough to get a move done on that sector 3 straight? I'm not convinced.
Well, we're still on board with El Trocker and Faddy, and El Trocker goes to the outside. They're side by side once again. He's trying to get a switch back on Faddy. Gonna get the power down earlier. They're side by side, but Faddy is still gonna hold on to the position. Incredible, and that gap between Too Late Mate and Carcraft is within DRS. But he doesn't
my
have
days.
he doesn't have a lot of ERS to play with, though, does he? But
And he's under 6/10. Here he comes. Carcraft has used all of his ERS. He has none left. So it's Carcraft's lace to lose as they are approaching the second to last corner. Too Late Mate is closing this gap down as Carcraft is holding the inside line.
Too Late Mate
sends it down, locking up the wheels.
Carcraft's back through. He's back through.
And he loses traction.
Oh, Too Late Mate's got it. Oh no, he doesn't! Carcraft's gonna get it back! No, he's not!
He's not gonna get it! Oh my days, some race from Too Late Mate!
Sten's gonna come across the line to take P3. Vision's gonna get him on penalties. Bob Sada is gonna come through to take P8. Mavs UK takes P9. Richie will take P10, IP goes up to P9 because of penalties, so he's into the point. Fantastic from him. The Goat of Anxiety has spun out again, excuse me, and he will finish P13. Still, against a 5 time penalty for unserving one. And that is the end of the race. As my voice is completely gone, lads.
That was some race, and Sten picking up driver of the day.
Oh dearie me, it's so, do you know something? It's so naughty from Too Late Mate. It's so naughty, but it's the only time of the race you are allowed to even have an attempt at doing something that naughty is the final, the second last corner at the final lap of the race. He had to send it, and as long as Cockrat didn't get damaged, I don't believe he did. I think it's just about fair game. Fantastic stuff from Too Late Mate and Carcraft. What an end to the race.
Some race from Too Late Mate, from 14 seconds down on Carcraft just to get that gap closed was impressive.
Vision took P3 sure, so he got a decent from P6 to P3. Sten, fantastic, starts in P16, finishes P4. That's my driver of the day. Faddy takes P5, Ultraka P6, Max Strong P7, Bob Sada P8, IP P9 because of penalties, and Magic took the final points position in P10. Just outside the points we had Witchy and Gma Winnie, Joe Royal, Scotty Fennel P13, P14, Grove Anxiety P15, and at the end we did have a retirement, and it was Harry Cully.
Well, fantastic race again, and as exciting as ever from Tier 1 in our F1 2020 League. I hope you've all enjoyed it today. As, again, me and Rigby screaming, top of our voices as per usual.
Oh, it's always, mate, my voice has gone completely. It really has, but thank you, Stuart, for joining me. It's always been good races while you've been with us, so maybe there's a little bit of a lucky charm there. But that is the end for another fantastic weekend of SRL racing. We will be back on Friday, first of all, for the No Assist League. I don't know if they're in the same place as the others, but that's on Friday evening. Then you'll have the GP2 on Saturday starting at 5 o'clock. Join Row for that. And then obviously you have SRL 4 at 3 o'clock on the Sunday, F2, F3 at 5 o'clock, and join me and Stuart, of course, for another fantastic F1 race, which is at Italy at 7 o'clock GMT. So
I'm very excited for that race with Tier 1 at the Cathedral of Speed. It's not as if it's not fast enough already.
Indeed. So have a fantastic week, guys. Stay safe and all that. Thank you, Stuart, for joining me. And that is it from us. Take care all. Ta-ra.